Have you ever really stopped to think about what your computer is actually doing when you click a mouse, type a sentence, or watch a video? I mean, it feels like magic, right? But underneath all that complexity is a process that's surprisingly simple and just unbelievably fast. Today, we're going to pull back that curtain and take a look at the true heartbeat of every single digital device you own. Now, seriously, think about it for a second. Right now, as you're listening to me, your computer is hammering out billions of operations every single second. But here's the crazy part. It's not chaos. It's all built on one fundamental, relentless cycle that turns the simplest instructions into, well, everything you see and do on screen. To make this whole thing super clear and easy to grasp, we're going to use an analogy. I want you to imagine your computer is a state-of-the-art kitchen. And at the very heart of this kitchen, there's a master chef. That's our CPU. And of course, every kitchen needs a pantry to hold all the ingredients and recipes, and that's our memory. So let's go meet the kitchen staff. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll get to know the key players in our high-tech kitchen. Then we're going to follow our master chef through the 3 core steps of every single task: fetch, decode, and execute. And you're definitely going to want to stick around to the end because we'll reveal just how mind-bogglingly fast this all happens. It's wild. So let's start with the big picture here. This isn't just a process your computer runs, it is the process. Think of it like a pulse, a constant rhythmic cycle that kicks in the second you hit the power button and doesn't stop for a breath until you shut down. Literally everything your computer does is built right on top of this foundation. Okay, so you know every great chef needs a well-equipped kitchen and a solid team, right? So before we see our chef in action, let's get introduced to the essential staff. These are the core hardware components that make all the magic possible. First up, the absolute star of the show, the CPU, the central processing unit. This is our master chef. It is the undisputed brain of the entire operation, and it's responsible for reading the recipe, figuring out what it means, and then carrying out every single step, personally. Next, we've got the main memory, which you probably know as RAM. In our kitchen, this is the pantry. It's this huge storage area that holds all the recipes, those are our programs, and all the ingredients, which is our data. Our chef is constantly running back and forth to the pantry to grab what they need for the next step. And finally, we have registers. Now, think of these as the chef's personal workspace, like a small, super fast chopping board right there on the counter. Instead of running all the way to the pantry for every single little ingredient, the chef keeps whatever they're working on right this second on this board for instant access. It's all about speed. And here, you can see how it all connects. Over on the left, you've got the CPU. That's our chef's station, with all its personal tools, like those registers. And on the right, you've got the main memory, our big pantry. Those pathways connecting them, we call those buses. This is our complete kitchen, all ready for action. All right, with our kitchen all set up, it is time to cook. The very first step in any recipe is, well, you gotta read the instructions. This is the fetch stage. This is where our chef heads over to the pantry to grab the very next line from the recipe book. Okay, well, I know this might look like a lot of steps, but trust me, it's a very logical flow. All that's happening here is the chef needs to find the right line in the recipe, ask for it, get it, and then get ready for the next one. Let's just walk through it, one piece at a time. It's easier than it looks. So it all starts with the chef checking where they left off. Inside the CPU, there's a special counter called the program counter. Just think of it like a bookmark in the recipe book. It's pointing to the next line we need, at address 0000. To go get it, the chef copies that address onto something called the memory address register. You can just imagine that as a little post-it note with the pantry shelf number written on it. With that address ready on the post-it note, the control unit, who is kind of like the chef's sous chef or assistant, shouts over to the pantry. It sends a read signal, and that basically just means, hey pantry, I've sent you an address, get ready to send me back whatever you've got stored there. So the pantry gets the message, finds the item at that address, and sends the contents back. In our case, it's a binary instruction, 0101, 0101. That instruction travels back along the bus to the chef's station and lands in the memory data register, which is kind of like the kitchen's receiving bay for deliveries. Now, you can't work on something while it's still sitting in the receiving bay, right? So the chef immediately moves that instruction over to their main workspace, the current instruction register. This is the countertop where they're going to actually read it and figure out what to do. We're almost done fetching, and here is the final and maybe the most clever step of the fetch. Before doing anything else, the chef moves their bookmark to the next line in the recipe. The program counter gets updated from 000 to 0001. Why? This way, the CPU is already prepared for the next cycle before it's even finished with the current one. It's all about efficiency. Okay, so the chef has the line from the recipe sitting on their countertop. Now what? Well, they need to actually read it and understand what it's telling them to do. This is the decode stage. A computer instruction is actually a lot like a really simple sentence. It has two basic parts. The first part is the opcode, which is the verb. It tells the computer what to do. Things like add, or store, or load. The second part is the operand, and that's the noun. It says what to do it to, like a location in the pantry or a specific piece of data. So if we look back at our instruction, 01010101, the decode unit inside the CPU splits this thing up. It looks at the first part, 0101, checks its internal rulebook, and sees that it means load. The rest of it, the other 0101, is the operand. That's the address of the data we actually need to go and load. And just like that, what looked like a bunch of random ones and zeros becomes a clear command. Our chef now has a simple, actionable instruction. Go to pantry shelf 0101 and bring back the ingredient you find there. See? Simple? We've fetched the instruction, we've decoded it. There's really only one thing left to do, isn't there? We have to make it happen. This is the execute stage, where our chef finally does the actual cooking. This is where the chef's assistant, that control unit we talked about, takes over again. It's the one that sends out the precise electrical signals to all the right parts of the kitchen to make that load command a reality. It is time to execute. So here's how it plays out for our load command. First, the address from our operand 0101 gets sent over to the pantry. Then the ingredient at that location is fetched and brought back, but this time it doesn't just go to the receiving bay. It's placed into a special register called the accumulator. You can think of that as the chef's main mixing bowl. And with that, the instruction is complete. And that's it. One full cycle is done. But the computer doesn't stop for a break. Not for a second. It immediately begins the next cycle, fetching the instruction at address 0001, which, if you remember, is already waiting in the program counter. This three-step dance, fetch, decode, execute, that is the fundamental rhythm of all computing. It just repeats over and over and over again. This incredibly simple loop is what powers absolutely everything, from opening a file to playing the most complex video game imaginable. So just how fast is this heartbeat? Let's put it in perspective. A modern 3 gigahertz processor doesn't do this cycle 3 million times a second. It does it 3 billion times, every single second. That is the almost unimaginable speed that's powering your computer right now, and it's all built on that simple 3-step process we just walked through. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought to chew on. If something as incredibly complex as a modern computer can be built from a loop this simple, it really makes you wonder, what other complex systems out there, in our world, maybe even in nature, are also built on a foundation of simple, repeatable rules? Thanks for watching.